Hi, this is Brooke Özlem Erol. First of all, we live in very different times, as we all say these days. So my heart first goes to people who are sick, the people who are helping them out, everyone who's in the front lines, and any one of you who might have somebody that you know who is sick and dealing with this. So there's nothing more important than health. We keep on saying that every day, maybe, but now we really, really know it and feel it. And we're trying to make sure that not many people get to be sick and die from this, right? It is the priority for all of us, and we are all in this together. So going through these times, I again want to do a different video which I wasn't planning, which is all the things that I have learned over the years, doing my coaching training, doing some coaching to others, everything that I learned in my self-growth process and self-development process. Because even if it's not a time like this, every time you go through some hardship, there are things to do, things to stay sane and calm. So many of them apply today, and I feel very grateful that I learned this stuff like way ahead of time, which helps me today. So since we're all finding different ways to cope with this, I wanted to tell what I know, which helped me along the way, which helps me today as we go through this phase, that I wanted to share with you. So this time I have my notes because I don't want to forget any one of these points, and I think they're all very important. And I will have some links at the end of this video to some of the things that I'm referring to. So please check the description below this video to find out what they are and how you can reach them. So first of all, I think more than anything else, we have to stay calm. We have to learn how to do that, because none of the other things that I will tell you will make sense if we can't stay sane and calm. And if you already have underlying conditions like with mental health or anxiety that you had to go through, this might elevate the anxiety. So we have to really figure that out and know that about ourselves so that we become even more careful of how to stay calm. So if we look into different categories, there's things that we cannot control in this environment, and again in any situation actually. And then there's things that we can influence and some things that we can control. So we're gonna talk about what we can control and a little bit about the influence we can have on others during these difficult times. The things that we can't control, the people who are dying right now, I just feel like even watching the news makes us like more miserable and like more anxious, because at this point we know what we're supposed to do. We have to learn a little bit about our local news and what's happening maybe, and get educated from good sources. But other than that, if you watch TV or media, all we learn is like we have more people who are dying. It doesn't help us really. So how do we stay calm though? It's easy to say, but it's not easy to do, right? So first of all, this was exactly what I was gonna say, the news. You can't watch news all day, and I know it firsthand because I'm coming from a family where everybody feels more intellectual by listening to news almost all day long. But I learned the hard way in like some other difficult times that we were going through. It doesn't help. And if you have not develop lots of good self-awareness skills yet, you don't know when it gets to you. First you feel like you're managing with the news and everything is good, you feel good, but it creeps in at the back end, and then it gets you to feel really, really nervous and doesn't help you with your sleep, with your calmness. So that's one big thing. And then listen to news only maybe once a day if you need to, and make sure that it's a reliable source. We are all very aware by now that there's so much going on the social media and lots of websites that is not true. Make sure that you don't believe in everything that you read. And then also even the messages that come from friends, people who are more in panic mode, who have more anxiety, are passing news without checking them out, and we might have a lot of overload on our WhatsApp applications, in our messages. That again, just look through them, sift through them, and look at maybe the funny videos, because there's so much creativity right now. I think those make us laugh are the best ones to follow. And don't also pass on to those things that you don't know, where you don't see a source, reliable source. It just spreads out so fast and it's not doing good to anyone. And download one of the meditation apps or calmness apps. There is some on YouTube video. If you have not done it yet, this might be the good time to take a good breather. Even if you don't use the apps, yes, just take some good deep breaths, like take breaks when you're working or doing housework. That will just ground you and center you. And again, I feel lucky that I started these practices a long time ago. It helps me tremendously these days. And then the most and the best advice that I have heard in a difficult time that we were going through, which is very valid today, is to live one day at a time. It's so crucial that we don't try to find out when this is gonna end, because nobody has good answers. If you're watching the news, reading anything, you know there's something from a couple of weeks to 18 months. I mean, it's not gonna help because nobody has a good answer yet. So just live today. If everything is okay today, everybody's healthy in your family, just like be grateful and then go to the next day. It's not the time to think about the future because it's only gonna overwhelm us. And watch funny stuff. Go to Netflix, Amazon Prime, whatever you have, YouTube, and watch funny things. It really helps us go through the day and lets us forget what we're going through. Do the online face-to-face technology. Use that, your phones, especially if you have elderly people who can't go out. I think just the FaceTime and the video messaging really helps because they feel very lonely. So do that as much as you can. Which also makes me think that this reminds us that we should be catching up with technology, because people who don't know how to order online, people who don't know how to use these technologies to connect with others for work or for social reasons, now it's time to learn them, really. Because think about like 10 years later, there's going to be so much more technology, and if we don't learn what's available now, it's going to be so much harder to catch up. Maybe we won't be able to do anything if we don't know how to use it, right? So it's crucial that we learn that, and I see a lot of people are trying to do that. And do fun stuff, play games with family. I see a lot of notes and videos about that. That's amazing, good. So some people are dressing up, prepare a good meal, like you're going outside for dinner. That just boosts, like it really makes our mood a little bit better. We feel like we don't need to be in our PJs all day, which might take us down, but do something about that too. If you can still take a walk where you live, do that. Just getting some fresh air is helping us stay sane for sure. And if you're used to exercising like I am, I don't think I ever gave a break except some of my vacation time and during my pregnancy. I have to do exercise and I do it now at home. There's lots of online resources and apps for that too. There's no excuse not to do that, really. Even if we have a small space, we can do some floor exercises. That also helps us, as we all know by now, not only physically, but emotionally as well. And do not watch the movies about the pandemics and like contagious or whatever. It's gonna only make us more nervous. I mean, it's good to learn about this stuff, but in the center of all that we're doing, I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think it's just something that will calm us down. And if you are going to the supermarket as we used to do as our daily outing, maybe it's not good time to do it every day. It's good to have a long list, put a paper out there, a pen, and then start putting that list together and try to do it less often than you did. And then if you have people who are panicking around you, just don't panic, because telling people not to feel something never works. If people have told you not to be angry when you are, you know what I mean, right? We're going to talk about these in my other videos too. But instead, ask them and tell them stuff that they can do to calm down, stuff like what I'm doing right now, some apps that they can take, breathers that they can take, and just make sure that it doesn't get into you. Just be careful with your psyche when they get to be panicking. And keep yourself busy. I have a therapist friend who told me in a different time that it's always sometimes, it's not always, but sometimes it helps us to do house cleaning, things that we don't usually do all the time, like clearing up our cabinets or like closets, getting rid of stuff. Those things take our mind out of some of the work and some of this like anxiousness that gets into us and creeps us in us. So doing some kind of different work and housework could really help us. Or if you have a yard, you can go and work in the yard. That's even better. And it's also a great time. I say this all the time, but now is the perfect time to have some gratefulness practices. You can start a gratefulness journey. I'm in a journal, and if you don't have a journal, you can have something to say to yourself every night of all the things that you're grateful for. So it's time to remember them instead of like complaining about not being able to go out, not being able to socialize. I mean, come on, people are going through such a tough time, and it is affecting many of us, including myself, financially. But I can't think about that now. I hope there's going to be help for many people, but we're all in this together too. I hope there's going to be fairness about how governments help their people, their citizens. But let's hope for that too. But yes, it's time to really bring what we are grateful for to the forefront and reminding ourselves every single day, really. And except this is a roller coaster. I have felt it in myself, and I have a lot of self-awareness, so I know when it gets to my mind, into my body, and I stop what I'm doing that makes me nervous. I go and do something else. But also we have to accept this is a roller coaster. Some days we're gonna be feeling better, some calmer, some other days maybe with some news or what's happening to our friends or family, we'll have some days that's not as so calm or anxious. But these are things that we can learn and keep ourselves in a better place, especially emotionally. But again, it is tough times for a lot of people. It is unsettling for many. So it's better to accept that. And also, very important, let's be kind to the cashiers, to the delivery people, to the post office personnel, and of course the health officials, and everybody's trying so hard. And I hear some stories that people are sometimes rude to these people and they don't care to even say hi, thank you. And they need more than any time to hear that from us. Let's be conscious of that. Let's be so intentional. And let's make sure that we are grateful for what they do for us these days, right? So it's like a lot of things, and I know this is a little bit like longer than my usual videos, but I thought it's important to put all of those together in a list. And I'm sure you're hearing a lot more stuff there, and I will have some links below for some things that you can do at home, some links where you can reach online, and some even volunteer opportunities that are available to you, not leaving your home at all. That's amazing too, because when we help others who are in harder situation than we are, then we even don't think about our worries so much. Purpose really helps me these days. I am not as busy. I lost a few clients and two projects, but what I love to do helps me these days, because I'm not looking for different things to do. I know what I'm supposed to do. I'm giving away free stuff. I gave away my book for 5 days, as much as Amazon let me do, so that people can read that. I'm doing these videos. I'm putting a lot of valuable things, hoping that some people who need that information is getting them. This is a time to support each other. not being selfish, really. So all the purpose videos that I'm continue gonna do is helping us to find out what we love to do, what our gifts are, how we want to spend our time, what fulfills us, and it's not only about work. So when you know yourself so well, you are really much better off in difficult times like this, because you can continue doing that in a different format, in a different way, but you have something so that really occupies your day, occupies your time. And it's important so that we can stay calm and sane in these difficult times. And it also makes you feel like you are helping out to others who might need to hear from you right now. And we all have some part of that, that we can reach out and helping others. So hopefully you stay safe and healthy, and I wish you the best, and hopefully we get through these times as healthy as possible. And remember what we're learning from this experience. We are so connected. Health comes first. We still have to be kind. Learning some life skills to keep us grounded and centered is so essential, not only for this time, but also in any difficulty that we face. And again, just to repeat one thing out of what I already shared with you: live one day at a time. Don't linger with the question, when is this gonna get a, when is this gonna end? What if it lasts 3 months, 4 months? We don't know. So don't, if you have those questions, just stop those questions. You don't have to listen to them. You don't have to find an answer. Just be grateful for what you have today. And hopefully I'll get to see you soon again. Thank you for listening, and thank you for dealing with me for more than 16 minutes this time. Thank you. Bye bye.